Okay, well, folks should be able to hear us and see us now. If neither of those things are true, check your medications. We're back with some BX Dungeons and Dragons, playing through Module X2 Castle Amber, which we're well into now. This group has gotten to Averone, has had a few ventures here already, and the many times I ran this module in the past, I've never had a party get to Averone. So this is exciting for me. So our party tonight, Richard, who you playing?
Hello, welcome to another episode of Fig Jam and Friends. I am playing the titular Fig Jam, and he is a level 7 magic user. Beware his awesome powers. Now, on to the friends.
It's Dion, as friend of Fig Jam. Who are you playing?
Yes, it is I, friend of Fig Jam, also known as a C, the level 7 human question mark lycanthrope.
You don't know any of
rogue?
that yet.
Not at all, but
Oh no.
I'm also a ticking time bomb. Ha.
Yeah, you are. You are indeed. Jeff, back with us tonight.
Yeah, hello. I am playing Darby. He's a 7th level dwarf who sadly missed last week big fight. And he's a little worried since he only has 9 arrows left.
But you
Only
won't have
nine.
those for long.
Oh, I can give you some arrows.
Yeah.
I'll give you I'll give you like 5.
They're all tainted with arrow lycanthropy. They turn into hammers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Okay.
awesome.
Since I don't have a bow, you can have my 20
Would
arrows.
it be like a were arrow?
Yes, indeed. Jameis, who you playing?
What up? I'm playing friend of Fig Jam known as Galen Rayhorn, Cleary Elf Priest, not level 7. And other special things may be happening. But damn.
Well, yeah, there is that. Bill back.
Hi, I am Bill. I am also friend of Fig Jam. I am playing Radnor the Large, 7th level magic user and friend of Fig Jam.
At least that's what he will tell Fig Jam, up to the point he puts a dagger in his spine.
I've got enough copies of Charm Person to make everybody my friends if I need to.
There is that. That does make things a bit easier. Yeah. So, guys, last time, big fight. Everyone came out just fine. No one died, even momentarily. No, not at all. But you got the sword of lioness, leaving it behind with a very capable sorceress in her own pocket dimension.
And the time travel potion.
And a time travel potion. So a couple of things collected already. So, you're off to Zymes.
Why are we going to Zymes again? That's where you get the time travel potion.
Well, Zymes was where you were in the pocket dimension. Zymes was the closest place to get to, and you're also looking for information as well. The traveling apothecary that you're with told you that getting information about what you need might be best found at Zymes as well. There is also, like one of the very powerful clerical people that are in charge of the making sure no one's using evil black magic rules over
Except him.
Zymes. Mm-hmm. So
Dion. No, see, can you put that away, please? Just stick that somewhere where it won't shine.
Sure.
Yes, put it somewhere where it won't shine. Let's see.
I don't get it.
My prison pocket.
Right. Right. So Azadark is the person in Zymes that was it's one of the persons in Zymes that were listed. Anybody want to pop up the little handout and let's take a look at it again real quick?
Yeah.
To those who would be free.
says, Jehan and Moriamis.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm sure this is a coincidence, but that sounds an awful lot like a Sararak.
Does it?
Yeah.
Does it?
And,
Well, you guys exit the pocket dimension, leaving you pretty close to the main road. You're within a few.
We got to Zion.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. A few hours travel. You got to Zymes. It's a big, bustling city. It has a castle wall around it. The main gates are pretty welcoming. There are a few soldiers stationed around, but no one's checking anything really. They're just waving people through there in case anything might happen.
That changed since last week then,
You
because
did it?
last week
Did
we paid a fee to get in.
Yes, you paid a fee.
She paid the fee.
Yes.
Exactly. No, we did. We
No.
all paid it with our monies.
We didn't have monies.
We got monies.
No.
But yeah, because she is coming in as a merchant, she's levied a tax, and you were brought in as her aides, her helpers. But yeah, there's not any like significant check really. Like there's nobody there standing with one of those wands, staves that check and detect magic and all that. Nothing like that. No one's being asked for papers, etc. But merchants are being levied a small fee to enter, as are anyone with carts who claim they aren't merchants. So the carts seem to be the thing, really. Bustling streets. It's all stoned, cobblestones, so it's made to be cart friendly. You can see a large open air market where she tells you that she will be setting up shop there later. She's pretty tired from her travels and her exhaustion on your behalf to make the time travel potion to take a little bit out of her. And she
Weeks ago, old lady.
She is an old lady, as you have just said.
We faced down a werewolf. We almost died repeatedly. Oh my god.
She made a magical potion of time travel. I mean, what?
am done with you. Go away.
we should have had her make 2.
You merely killed something. She made something to destroy the natural laws. You know.
I mean, I did it by destroying the natural laws. Let's not go into any of that.
There we go.
I don't know.
But she is, she's going to take up rooms at an inn that she has used before. It's modest payment, and you're invited to come there as well as her, quote unquote servants for this, to keep up impressions. Pardon the cough. But as you come in and you're passing by the open air market, there is a man who's looks like he's packing up for the day. And looks like a purveyor of wines and cheeses and charcuterie, sausages and meats and that sort of thing. And as you're passing by, he takes a really long look at all of you, and you see his eyes and his expression kind of change, and he starts shouting to the crowd around him, "It's them! It's them, the heroes of Viones, the slayer of the beast!" And he runs up to you. "It is I, Hercule! Do you remember?" He looks very excited, and he is making enough of a ruckus that a crowd starts to gather around you. It's like, "It's them, the heroes of Viones, here in our small city." He's just calling this out. The crowd is building around you. A lot of people are like, "Oh," murmuring. My friends, surely you remember the humble Hercule. I provided you with a board of meats and cheeses and my finest wines after saving the city. It would be my honor if you would allow me to come to the inn. A feast, a meal, rooms perhaps. Only the best for the heroes of Viones." The apothecary lady is taking a few steps back so as to not be part of your party, and kind of fading into the crowd, looking at you like, "What's going on?"
Well, I'm looking around for these heroes he's talking about.
Yeah.
I will take him put my arm over his shoulder and say, "Ah, yes, of course we remember you. But
Me
shut
too.
up. We're here, undercover."
No, heroes such as as yourselves should be lauded. Here. He goes to his table and he breaks out like a very dusty bottle of wine, and he starts pouring cups. He says, "Everyone, please, a round for the heroes." And he gives you the bottle of good wine, and he starts pouring out from another barrel to the crowd around him. Cheers for the heroes of Iones, the slayer of the
Cheers.
great beast.
Yes.
Perhaps you could remind us of our amazing deeds. Which beast did we kill? We've killed so many, we can't remember which one it was in Fires.
Does he set the nice bottle down at any point?
He
sure
empties
you're
the
not
nice bottle
mistaken?
into all
Damn.
your cups. Yeah.
I was gonna fill my wineskin if there
Oh.
was any left over. I fill it with the barrel.
Yeah. It's very good. And as he's giving out free wine to the crowd, they're all cheering you on as well. To your question, Fig Jam, he's like, the great beast of Iones, that day you saved so many. The city would have been burned to the ground if it were not for you, I'm sure. Slayers such as yourself have killed many beasts. I understand how you'd become confused.
Yes, I remember it distinctly now that you have brought it up. I remember how it moved into the town on... Was it wings? Or did it slither in? Or was it
Both!
swimming in? I can't remember.
We fight so many beasts.
So
And its distinctive reddish, greenish, bluish, blackish colors on its scaly, furry body of... Oh, so many limbs, I didn't even count them.
a crowd is around, and some of them are also telling the same tale. Some of them are saying, I was there that day. There's a young lass carrying a newborn child looking at Radnar. Eyes squinty.
What's going on? Did somebody cast mass confusion or something on these people?
People in the
know?
crowd seem, unless there's some mass hysteria spell being cast, who knows? But they seem to recognize your faces. A lot of them are saying, I was there.
How long ago was this again?
Hercule is breaking out some more wines. He just hands over one of the nice bottles to you, see, as you were looking around for more wine. He just hands you another bottle of wine. He says,
I wonder if we could get all these people in the radius of like a couple of fireballs.
Wow.
It must now be a year. A year has passed.
Yes, a year ago. Okay, now it's coming back to me.
Is this an
Hey, do you have
anniversary?
that
Are you
thing?
traveling here on the anniversary of what must have been your greatest triumph?
Oh well,
But-
we are here on business.
Here, let's go to the tavern. And I'm running out of the cheap wine.
Okay.
We will feast. Everyone
Feast.
to the inn.
In.
Yes. Hercule seems to be very excited about all of this. His guards are probably his sons, is what it looks like. There's a familiar resemblance there. Starts putting away the wine in the cart and moving everything away. But he's ushering you over to the inn.
Man, we did just get a potion of time travel, so it isn't outside the realms of possibility that we did this already and don't know.
And we were in a pocket. We were in like a pocket dimension or something for a little bit. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're in a pocket dimension, in a pocket dimension, in
Were
a
we-
pocket dimension.
do we
so-
remember
ever
this
in
guy?
IO?
Like maybe I'm like the player isn't remembering it. Do
No,
we
you
remember
know
this
this.
guy?
You have no idea who this guy is.
Yeah.
C is pretty sure he would remember this wine. It's really good.
I do know my wine.
You're like,
Yeah,
hey
yeah,
man,
it was-
17 ranks. in
It was
craft
that other
wine.
green company, that one we've been following for a while.
Mm.
It was the Forest
using our
Green Company. You're the Hunter Green Company.
It was Magpie's team.
Yeah.
that I can believe.
Maybe.
The more competent of the green parties. No, so he hustles you into a fairly nice looking inn. The apothecary just kind of catches, she'll catch Darby's eye and kind of point across the street at the inn that she's going to be staying in. And she just kind of moves her cart in that direction.
Okay.
I think she likes you. You should go to her.
Honestly,
Trying
it's
to
mostly
remember.
because Darby looks like a stunted human, right? So, I mean, in your education, learning the language, the lingo of the realm, it's an unlucky thing. So even being the hero of the realm, people still are a little skittish around him. Because he's defective.
Aw, he's perfect to me.
So yeah, he had less people around Darby, so she was easy to catch his eye. You go to the tavern, and he immediately tells the tavern keeper to bring the entire beast that's roasting to the table. He says, "Oh, my cheese and my breads are far better. I'll have my sons bring those to the table. But beer, wine gives you such a headache in the morning. They've got very good beer here," and he orders rounds for the whole tavern. And again, he's really when they come, he's really loud. He's like, the heroes of Viones here visiting us in Zymes.
It is I, the hero.
Yeah, I mean, people are
Remember
getting
with our
into it.
horses?
Thank you for the fine wine, the beer, and the roast beast.
His sons take care of it. They just stable him at this inn that you're in here.
Really can't remember what we did in Biomes.
So he's like, so why are you here? So, he looks suddenly like perhaps comprehending. He's like, oh, this city isn't about to be attacked, ravaged by some beast, is it?
I hope not.
Yeah, we could really use a break from that.
Yeah.
Oh.
No,
Since
we're
they seem to know who we are,
Hmm.
I'm going to take my chainmail helmet.
Ooh.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay,
They
so
know who we are, apparently.
there is a collective gasp as people see your ears. Even Hercule is taken aback a little bit. It's like, oh, my friend, I'm sorry for such a deformity that has come about your continents. It's perhaps best if you cover that again. And he does make this kind of sign, warding off evil. It's like, truly, you have suffered much in
Alright.
defense of Averone, it seems.
Fear not, he is a man of the god. He is loved by him as his other creations.
Oh, that is
Means
good.
no harm.
The bishop here is he's a very saintly man. He will not allow any form of the black magics, the black arts here, or those touched by it. And he looked kind of worried at you, Galen.
I put the chainmail back on.
Yep. Yeah, but people are starting to talk a little in the corner.
Yeah. People don't need to give 300 bits for bad things to happen. I'll do it anyway.
That's right. You are the bad thing maker. Okay, yeah, I mean, but people seem to be happy that the beer is flowing, so they don't give you a lot of crap, that there is some murmuring. He's like, so, then you're here to rest back from some other mighty deed. This inn, please, allow me. This inn has wonderful beds, the best goose down, mattresses. Allow me to get you rooms. How long do you need to be in Zymes? I'm afraid I'm leaving in the morning, but I can a few days. I can rent you rooms for a few days. It's the least I could do. You saved my business.
We're looking for information.
Oh, well, perhaps I can be of help.
We need to find a mirror of what's it called? Viper mirror, the
Viper circled
Viper
mirror
circled mirror
and a ring of ebon.
and a ring of Aben.
Oh,
This was 5th edition. I would call for an insight check.
What do you want to? What you know about this guy, or what you feel about this guy?
No, he just, like, I don't know. It just seems weird. He's just.
He
this
seems
whole
to
thing
he seems to be absolutely sure of who you are and that you did some incredible. He is starstruck. I mean, it comes across as being very genuine.
Okay.
They sound like items of black magic. Oh, you're seeking to destroy them, to keep them out of the
Yes,
hands of those
yes.
black magicians.
We have
Of
a method
course.
to destroy them. Yes.
Of
What
course,
else
of
would
course.
the heroes of wherever you said be in town?
Oh, of course, you've gone to many cities, Viones, the greatest city in Averone. But of course, I'm sure you've visited much grander.
We've been around.
Oh, we've seen castles with vampires and
Again, he makes that sign.
I know, yes.
We've been to the center of the earth.
Yes, the center.
I hear it's hollow.
It is.
It was.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Oh, but such items of deviltry. Surely, if they were here in Zymes, the bishop would have them locked away or destroyed already.
Is there a way that we can gain audience with him? Because there's only a certain way to destroy these items, and we have the method.
Well, it's very difficult to see the bishop, and he's also he looks around, and you guys are surrounded by people, but he tries to lower his voice. He's a very hard man, and again he looks at Galen, and his eyes kind of track over to Darby. And given your deformities, it might not be. And then he's interrupted as a page comes to the table, a young lad dressed freshly, smartly, in very colorful clothing, comes forward. He's got several parchments in hand, and he says, "I seek the great party, the heroes of Viones. I bear with me. Are you they?"
Yes, that is us. We are the great heroes.
Okay,
Yes.
he starts handing out scrolls to all of you. You are hereby invited to the palace of the governor for the feast of Saint Guillaume of Zymes tomorrow.
Will the bishop be there?
So Hercule looks at you, and he looks a little miffed that he didn't get an invitation. But he just kind of nods his head when you say, "Will the bishop be there?" He says, "Well, yes, the bishop presides over the feast of Saint Guillaume. He would be doing the opening prayer."
I look to the gentleman. I go, "Are we allowed to bring a guest of honor with us?"
Servants, of course, you can bring your servants.
Hercule is a fine servant, aren't you, Hercule?
Oh, he absolutely smiles at that, and he bows. A greater title to be a servant to the heroes of Iomes. I could not ask for more.
Yes, he will be accompanying us to this dinner, so you are aware.
Wait, we haven't been here this long, and this guy already has 5 scrolls that they drew up for us.
Yeah, noticing that they're kind of your names aren't on them
And the
anywhere.
blanks.
Yeah, they're just kind of.
They're form scrolls.
Yeah, they're form scrolls.
Okay.
Rubber stamped by the governor.
But this is France, so, what do you expect?
Yeah, so the page waits until each of you have accepted your scrolls, and then he's off.
Well, then he's here for an age because I am not accepting mine.
He
Just gonna leave him
waits.
standing there.
He just stands there with the scroll outstretched, waiting.
For
I have a
him.
bad feeling
I'll take it
about
for
this.
him.
Okay, if you
take
take it, then he is off afterwards.
I'll hold on to it.
Okay. It's a very nice gilded scroll. It basically says that the celebration of the feast of a Saint Guillaume, scheduled for tomorrow. The mayor of the town is putting on an opulent dinner in his palace. And Hercule says, "Yes, it is. It's a tradition here. It's a day off of. No one toils on this day. The bishop provides food to the masses. It's a day of celebration, but this is a great honor. The most august persons are ever invited to this."
Which is exactly why you are coming with us, my friend.
Oh, he
Oh,
beams
yeah,
at that.
dude.
Yeah, you've been so kind to us in so short of a time, and we've only met once before.
Yes, but what a time! What a
What a
singular time!
Oh God, it's like it was almost yesterday.
We
I
hear
remember
that
it fondly.
every time we come here.
And he kind of says it aside to us. And I took your advice.
Did you? How'd it go?
It was wonderful. And no one knew that I executed my wife, and I took it was excellent.
High five him.
Hell yeah.
There you go, brother. Single life is the best life.
See thinks to himself, it sounds like something I would tell someone to do.
Depending on the situation, yeah, I'd be supportive of it. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. He gave me this nice meat and cheese platter. Who would do that? No, not a bad guy. They don't have that kind of taste.
That's all noting that down. That if I ever want you to get on board with something horrific, like, I don't know, extermination of a race or something, meat and cheese platters all around for you.
If you have
Yes.
like a Pepperidge
Wow.
Farm summer sausage cheese platter, I'm all yours for any. I'm ride or die.
Mhm.
Okay.
I'm
Absolutely.
not sure that we should stay too long around.
Oh yes, and he looks at Radnar and says, "Oh, and yes, it's probably best also that we announce who you are. Well used, my friend. Your balls of fire certainly astonished many, and there were many questions left after the conflict."
That definitely sounds like us.
And-
Yeah.
Can I just
Yeah.
double check? You're not talking about metaphorical balls of fire, because I saw the way that woman was looking at him outside. It was actual, you know.
She wielded
balls
the
that
forces of nature, bringing fire to his
Okay, good,
hands.
Good.
Balls of explosive.
Did I do that?
No, but you had that wondrous bow.
Oh,
Dude, he
okay.
said balls like 3 times now.
There we go. I mean,
I feel like this is gonna bite us in the ass later.
Speaking of that, we should work out like a secret signal while we're traveling in case we want to like come out with a triple fireball attack. Because it could be useful at some point, you know?
Make sure that the hand signal to slay the entire town is very different from the hand signal that says this is a great place to eat.
Yes.
Although that could be interesting too.
Mm.
There's at least a whole different degree tilt to the head.
Right. So yeah, Hercule is beaming, and he continues to buy beer for the crowd. Cheaper beer. Of course, yours is much better. He goes and arrange rooms for you, leaving you at the table for a bit.
we gonna stay here? Or are we gonna go with the old lady who we're supposedly nominally guarding? I mean, are we buying it down into this?
Are we by
slaying
ourselves
of
now,
things?
or we still got
I mean, there's a
people?
crowd around you, and occasionally somebody will come by and say something like, "You saved my home that day." It's things like that.
Now that lady went off somewhere, right?
Yeah, she disappeared in the crowd after you moved along.
Maybe one of us should go talk to her and find out, you know, like, because she had a different reaction. So,
Which
you know,
which lady are you talking about? Sorry.
the lady that made the potion for us, isn't she
Right,
the one that got all weirded out? Like,
Oh yeah, she got
Yeah.
weirded out because there was so much attention being drawn to you.
We've been through so many different realities at this point. We could easily have been the one which we did do that.
yeah, it's weird that
I've
we have
lost
to
track
stop and think
entirely.
about it.
I don't know what reality we're in anymore.
There's so many towns we've saved. So.
Yeah.
Saved.
Mm,
Look,
And what were we up to in this city? What were we?
why did we come here?
Yeah.
Information about where the things might be. The
Yeah, okay.
ring and the mirror.
Which
think
we
that's
know.
And-
We have from the note. We know which city they suggested the mirror that we're in, which was Perigon and Lyons.
Honestly, you came to Zymes primarily because it was the shortest city to get to and to accompany the alchemist
Yeah,
here.
lady.
Yeah.
We need to change
And to heal
coin at some
wounds.
point if we're going to do that.
Is this the city with the bishop in it as well? This is where the bishop is.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Yes.
Yep. Now this is
All
the
right.
smaller of the two cities, so the bishop is here, but the archbishop is in the other one.
Why can't they call
So
themselves
this is the
different
mini
things?
boss, and he's the main boss. Okay.
Yeah, this is the mini boss. This is the interlude fight.
Nah. I press spacebar until the cutscene skips.
He tells you you're at the wrong castle, and you get really mad, and you fireball him. We know how this ends.
We don't need to get mad to fireball. You encounter him, you fireball him.
Yeah. So I mean, the interest peters off after a bit, as you guys don't seem to be doing anything particularly heroic at the moment.
Always
Nor
posing, I guess, putting my foot up on stools and
Yes.
things. And I remember the time when we almost died. Yes, that was good.
Oh, that time. The one
And
where
then there
we
was
almost
another
died,
time
yeah.
when we almost died.
so a few other well-wishers through the night will come by, but he's gone for a little bit. As he comes back, he tells you that he has it all arranged with the owner. When you're ready, just go and find one of the many people that work here. They'll take you to your rooms. He himself was planning on leaving tomorrow, but as he is now your +1, he is going to go and procure a tailor to make a finer set of clothing, to clean up his clothing a bit so that he'll be more presentable.
Oh no, do we need to do that as well?
It's just a fine gathering. Only the most important of people will be there. I mean, dressed such as you are, I mean, you do cut a very adventurous look about you. I mean, you look like heroes, but it might be best to dress. If you wish, I can take you to my tailor in the morning, and perhaps something can be done.
I reach over and take the least obvious twig off Fig Jam's.
Yeah.
Close. There you go. Done.
I feel like an entirely new person. Thank you.
Will your tailor be able to make me a nice suit?
I would expect so. I mean, your
Nice
your
shirt?
stature shouldn't be a problem. I mean, they're very stout children of your height. I'm sure he can adjust something to fit well.
Oh,
You're a bit broader across the chest and the back, of course, but I'm sure something can be done. Yes. Why don't I have one of my sons meet you in the morning here then, and we'll take care of that. Again, it's my favor, my pleasure to be able to do this for you. If it weren't for you, I would not have a business left.
What business is that, by the way? It's hard for me to
I'm a
remember.
wine merchant, of course.
Oh,
with
of
cheeses
course, it showed in
and
your product.
of course.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You saved the building with my best stores.
Yes, they all. I'm so sorry. Again, everything just kind of blurs together over the years, and it's hard doing this work.
I forget. Is that
Even
the one
after
where
your immense friend here, and he kind of makes a motion at Radnar, drank several bottles worth of my finest. Even after that, there was so much left that I was able to continue and be very profitable since.
It sounds like something I do.
I was gonna-
Yeah, unless you've got
Wow.
anything more particular to ask him, he wants to retire early and to meet up with his tailor and get some things going for
Do
the.
we just
Huh?
do we want to get him to change some of this gold we've got, since he probably knows people?
yeah, I was going to ask you about that. You're
Yeah.
smart thinking.
Yeah, so there's some random gold we've got. I don't know if we just need to exchange it to realm of the
yes,
one
one
of
of-
the two. I don't know. There's coins in realms.
Parcell, he's the moneylender here. If he's not in the bar tonight, I can take you to him tomorrow, and certainly he'll give you very favorable rates.
Yeah.
I think it's just we continue thing. We'll never quite get to a moneylender because one thing or another keeps cropping up. And we keep running away.
I was gonna say,
Moneylenders, the
actually,
most elusive of NPCs.
It's there. It's just that we keep crazy and causing ourselves problems like putting a bishop into severe unconsciousness. That means we have to leave.
we didn't put. That wasn't the problem. That
That was
wasn't
the
the
problem.
problem. That wasn't what precipitated the problem. All right.
It wasn't a solution either.
It was. It was. It definitely was. Never mind. All right.
Yeah, so you're left with an open tab to continue drinking if you want. You're full on all kinds of wild boar meat and cheese and bread and soup and whatever else. So mostly people don't bother you. A few people will just very kindly acknowledge that you did them a good thing, or you did a good thing, but people tend to leave you alone. During the night, there are a few of those robed inquisitor-looking guys that you had a run-in with, but these aren't carrying the staff that you have. They just come in. They don't seem to take any particular attention to you. It's later enough in the evening that the folks that were here for that initial round of free beer have moved along, so no one left in here really may even know who you are at this point. So they come in. They go to the bartender. It seems like they have their own booth. They sit and have a meal, have a beer. One of them does notice you at your table, paying particular attention to Darby.
Yeah.
Yep, and he meets your eyes and just gives you a nod. That's all. It seems friendly
Some
enough.
shoes or something.
I nod over to them too, and I hold a glass up to like toast them.
Okay. Two of the three do the same. One of them seems to be just picking at some bread, was the rest of his companions have plates of meat and beer. He's just kind of sitting in the corner picking at bread.
He's the vegan.
Yeah, there's got to be one. He's going to be the most foul-tempered of the three, too, because he's a vegan. Right. Yeah. So yeah, they take notice, but it doesn't seem like you've really caught any interest or ire from them.
Do we want to keep hold of the staff that detects evil magics? Or do we want to give it to them and say, hey, we came across this in the forest? Oh, we were making our way here from our great heroic adventures because we are the heroes.
Wait, why would we want to tell them about the staff?
Why would we want to be carrying around the thing which says, hey, we beat up a bishop and took the staff from them?
Oh, we beat up the bishop?
Well,
No,
I mean,
one of
not
the
necessarily,
inquisitors.
but how else do we get hold of a staff like that, of their office?
Well, we don't show it off.
Oh, this is Bishop so-and-so's watermark.
I like to think it's upside
Ah.
down in the back of your quiver, so it just
Yeah.
looks like
So it's
another
not.
piece of wood.
Yeah.
I mean-
it's-
I mean, maybe. I don't know if we are discovered with it. I don't know whether it will go worse for us or better, or whether we should hand it over now. I don't know.
In a really dark room, your quiver glows a little, which you can't tell otherwise.
I don't think we should tell them.
All right.
Thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just an idea. If we don't want to do it, then we don't have to do it.
This could be useful for us to use later too, so I think we should hold on to it. I don't know. It's like a free detect magic, you know?
I've never had any problems detecting magic.
Eh,
All right.
fair. I don't know. I like
I
that.
guess you can't do it. All right.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
I'm definitely not trying to get rid of things which make you special and are almost the same as me. Definitely not doing that.
I just want to be useful.
C can even cast fireballs now.
2 more times.
2 more times. All right, so what are you guys doing? You've had a very filling, good meal. Supposedly you have rooms here. the crowd has died down a little bit. Like I said, the initial run of people that were following you here for your star power have since gone on.
I want to go over to that table of guys.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull up a chair, sit in it backwards with my drink, and just be like, hail. Care to tell a fellow adventurer conquests of yours?
So you're talking to the clergy guys?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they seem a little uncomfortable at your closeness. They kind of squirm in their seats a little bit. It's like, oh, pray, brother, is there something that you, some blessing that you need, something you need of the church?
No, I'm just always curious to meet and greet friendly faces. I mean, we toasted each other. I thought, I could say hello.
No,
We
your
could share
accent is
stories.
is different. Are you from a different province? So this
I,
is one of them is saying this. The other one across the table just kind of looking around to see if something is about to happen. The third one that was a bit standoffish is actually fingering something underneath his cowl.
no, I kind of have a little bit of a speech impediment, and I'm very sensitive about that. But I appreciate you pointing it out, so I could be honest with you.
Ah, well, deformities are the sign of the gods that there's a darkness within your soul.
There's challenges that I have risen to meet, and I have succeeded.
You'll know when you've made yourself pure in the eyes of our God by your deformity leaving your mortal shell.
Yes, and that is one day that I hope to see soon.
Your friend over there must have a lot to atone for.
Yes, and he is doing his best every day.
Give me a
Yes.
charisma check.
Okay. Shablam.
Oh, the first dice roll.
Low success. Okay. I mean, so you're actually coming across as being gregarious, and so they seem to be going along with that. You can tell that the beers that they're having are fairly watered down. The food that they're eating is fairly simple. The one that's in the back of the booth, he's just got a single piece of bread that he's just kind of picking at.
I offer to donate generously one more round of drinks for them, and I leave them for their meal.
Oh yes,
Thank them
just
for
the
the
small
time.
beer, please.
Yes, just a small one. I go up there and I'm like, give them the good stuff.
Oh well, the bartender looks at you. They only drink the weak stuff. It's against their
All right,
their
all right,
covenants
all
to
right.
drink anything stronger than the weakest of beers.
All right, go ahead. Do what you gotta do.
Yeah, yep. So the one that was kind of in the corner, what was the rest of you guys doing as the sea was doing this? Are you watching? Are you trying to not pay attention? What were you doing?
I'm looking around to see if there's anybody that's just, I don't know, weird watching us.
Oh well, a lot of
I
people
am
are
watching you.
Yeah, there's
Well,
that.
I mean, that we're not used to. Like, that's
Nothing more than normal, really. I mean, you do seem to draw attention to in the crowds here. You're not dressed like the normal populace is,
Right.
and while you can speak the language, you definitely have an accent to it. Although from how you learned it, your accent's probably the original accent, and theirs is a more modernized form of it.
So you speaketh the oldie lingui.
Ye olde Englishy.
Or Frenchy in this case.
Well, if anybody was watching Assie's kind of interaction over there, anybody? Not really?
I'm aware of how much people seem to really hate elves, so I'm just trying to keep a low profile whenever I'm in towns.
Okay. Well, as Assie has his back turned and is walking away, the one that's in the corner pulls out from underneath his cloak. It looks like probably the holy symbol for the religion, you're guessing. And he's holding it, and it has just a slight glow to it, almost like that staff that you have is. And then he kind of points it at Assie, and you see that it brightens a little and he is in deep conversation with his other two companions.
I mean, my quiver's magical, so.
How
Yeah.
do a night? Can't even get through a night.
All right. So after a bit, one of the tavern employees comes up to you and says, "Masters, your rooms are prepared whenever you wish. We've had your beds warmed. There is hot water in the rooms to wash yourselves if you wish. We've opened the windows to let out to let some air flow in. Just whenever you'd like, we'll show you to your rooms."
More than one room. One
Oh,
each.
of course. Well, of course.
Oh. Oh. Wow.
Wow.
What luxury.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I mean, there's hot water. I'm going up immediately.
Mhm.
I
Okay.
want a bath.
Well, the three clergy leave as they pass. As they pass you, all of them except for that kind of standoffish one, kind of nod at all of you, in a friendly
back.
way. But before they leave, the third one kind of turns around and kind of does a blessing on the inn, and the inn owner just nods and smiles. Says, "Thank you, brother. Thank you, thank you. Boy, I hope that didn't just get rid of half my pop. No
As
one
they
bursting
are-
into flames. Good. Everyone just kind of laughs after the brothers leave.
As they are leaving, can I be looking at the scroll that we got, which tells us where we're meant to be going, and like reading it out loudly to everybody at the table?
Okay, you do. And other than taking notice at the fact that you have a scroll in your hand,
Right, and I am reading it out loud,
out
saying,
loud.
"Hey, we've been invited to Baron's place to."
Oh, that scroll,
Rub
not
elbows
the
with
scroll of
whatever.
"if you wish to be free," not that one.
No, not that
Yes,
one. Not
the
that
invitation
one. No,
one.
I was
Yeah.
out of third. I thought you was reading that one out as well. So.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Yes. No. The Gilded Scroll, which says, "Hey, you're important people in this town and shouldn't be necessarily messed with."
Right.
That.
Actually, then if you're doing that before they leave, the third one, the kind of standoffish one, turns to you, and he actually has kind of a half smile on his face. It's like, "Oh, very good. You'll meet our bishop.
I can't wait.
Fabulous.
I can't wait.
What are your names?"
We are the heroes. The heroes of.
The heroes of Ione.
The heroes of Ione.
Friend of Fig Jam.
Yes.
The heroes of Iones.
The
I thought
heroes
you
of
would all be
Ione.
taller.
Me too.
He seems to know what that is. He's like, "Oh, well, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. We'll
That's why I wanted to say hello.
We'll
I
let
was
the-
trying to be friendly.
let the bishop's staff know that there's such amazing people will be in attendance."
I would be honored to know that he would know that I'm coming.
And with that, I mean, he just kind of, you can see that he's been fingering his amulet, which is glowing a little bit. He just tucks it back under, and he looks like, "Oh, that explains everything." It's like, "Oh, of course."
Ah,
You
Okay.
fucking genius, Richard.
just an ugly, ugly 7 charisma face. Also a 19 intelligence.
Yes.
Genius.
All right. So if you're showing up to the rooms, yes, you each have individual rooms. It's all on. So there's it's on the second floor. So all of you have windows. There's no windows higher than the second floor. So this is kind of the luxury floor. This floor and the one below you. The one below you is louder. It's closer to the bar. It's quieter up here. Each of you have your own room. I mean, they're not huge, but they have fairly large beds, feather down mattresses. You've got a window that you can bar from your side. There are, those little devices that hold coal and you put it under the mattresses to warm them up. I forget what they're called, but so those have been placed on your beds to make sure that your beds are nice and warm. You have your own little fireplaces in each of the rooms, which have a fire going in them.
Oh my god.
Basin with
Sort of
water,
wild.
which has also been heated. So like these are very nice rooms. I mean, they're sparse, but they're very nice.
I'm gonna take a bath.
Beeswax candles if you need light.
Nobody needs light. We want continual light.
Yes.
Is there like a bathrobe?
But your continual light doesn't smell as good as beeswax.
True.
Is there
There's a chamber pot. Nice bronze chamber pots.
complimentary bathrobe?
No, but there are some
Disappointed.
very
Aw.
nice woolen sheets on the bed.
Oh, okay. I'm okay.
Alpaca. No, I have no idea.
Alright.
Yeah, so you can bathe in the hot water that's left, and whatever. So you're all along the same wall, so you all have rooms next to each other, and the windows open out, but you can close them and bar it from your side.
What I plan on doing, just because that's the kind of thing I do tend to do, is climb up on top of the roof, so that's where I plan on sleeping.
Okay. So you're on the second floor. This has got 4 floors, so that you
I thought you said there were no other. You said,
Oh no,
you said
there are more floors. There just are no more windows from your floor up.
What? Why would they have no windows on the higher?
So nobody jumps.
Got it. One.
Okay, I won't be doing that. Then I'll figure out.
Yeah. I mean, you could get out your window and climb up if you want. It's not difficult. It's the wood
Okay,
shingle.
sure, yeah.
Not as if you'll be bypassing anybody's windows in order to.
Yeah, no windows to scare anyone. Exactly. You notice
What's the point then?
the streets below you. The major streets are well lit. Oil lamps glowing on posts. The back streets don't seem to be, but the area where the farmers market is well lit, and you see that some people that sell there have got tents up and are just sleeping there. And there are some crowds on the streets, so the well-lit parts of the streets, just strolling in the night. So it's getting a little cold at night, but it's not bad. The roof is peaked, but you can find a spot to sleep if you wish, if that's what you want to
These
do.
are the girls, and they're the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah. What are the rest of you doing?
Was there a piano in the tavern area?
No.
No.
They did have some minstrels just plucking stringed instruments in the background. Nobody singing though, just kind of all background hum music. Nothing phenomenal.
Okay. They didn't have a vocalist, you said.
They did not have a vocalist.
After my bath, I'm gonna poke my head back downstairs. So
Okay, so if you come down, the serious drinkers are still out.
All right.
You want to try and play something? There's a few people, again, just plucking instruments. It looks like there's a group of them that have gotten together and are just working out some new tunes. Nothing.
Oh, I approach. I go, y'all need a vocalist?
Oh, of course. What do you know? Do
I
you know the
mean,
Heroes of Vion? That's always a good one. Brings a good crowd.
I am the hero of my own. Do you have the sheet music? I can read sheet music, and I know French, obviously.
They look through each other. It's like, oh, well, no, none of us read.
Oh. Well, here. We'll run through it really quick, and I'll pick it up quickly.
All right. Yeah. So, I guess just just make me a roll, just high or low.
Always high, baby. That's how I roll.
Just barely, but yeah. I mean, you pick it up. You don't know the words. You just kind of hum along a little bit. Chord progression simple enough. Do you have an instrument?
No.
No, just your voice.
I'm a vocalist,
Yeah.
so
All right.
I do a little funny little riffs. I do a little scat in there.
You beatbox a little bit of beatboxing.
Yeah, I remixed it a little.
All right. Yeah.
Just
So
having a good time for the drinkers.
there aren't a lot of drinkers left, but it seems to be appreciative. A few people come by, and even though there's not really a hat out, they just drop a coin on the table. So
Thank you. This hero of Ios thanks you.
Yeah, so just the hardcore drinkers left down here. Most of them are so drunk by the end of the night that they're just like, I don't know how many coins that is, but here you go. Okay, so Jameis, Galen is on the roof sleeping it off. What are the rest of you guys doing?
I mean, yeah, we'll have a bath as well, and then just go to bed in my room.
Yeah.
Seems fine.
You haven't slept in a bed like this in a long
I haven't
long
slept
time.
in a bed.
Yeah, it's amazing. Darby.
Yeah, I'll go to sleep as well, but not without checking out by the window.
Okay.
If I see anything unusual or dangerous, that seems dangerous.
Not really, although
for
it does
us.
seem like this town is not a early to bed, early to rise. Like you do see people out strolling. Again, the main streets are well lit. Some people are just sitting out and stargazing. Go ahead and make me a wisdom check. Okay. Yeah, it's it looks pretty casual, other than the fact that this city doesn't sleep early. That's the only thing that's unusual, but it looks like there are many people out stargazing and just walking along the cobble-lined streets. Seems fine. The bar to bar your window is sturdy. It's iron, not just a piece of wood.
Okay, I'll bar the window and go to sleep.
Okay. How about you, Radnar?
I'm out.
You just up.
It's a lot of work lugging this body around. So
Yeah, yeah.
I'm out.
And I'm sure you filled that body up with all the roast boar that you could. Forget the bread. The bread is it's just to fake you out, to fill you up. It's the meat you got to go for.
I wouldn't want to be rude.
Yeah,
These people went to all this trouble, and I'm just I'm trying to help them out.
Okay. So window open, window closed.
Window closed.
Okay. You bar your window as well.
Yeah.
See, eventually, past the midnight hour, the last of the drinkers stumble on. The people that you're playing with, some of them are staying here as well. So they thank you, working out some new tunes with them, workshopping a little bit. Yeah. So you made a few coins. Actually, roll a d10.
Oh, ooh. Big money, big money, big money, big money. Bam!
It's not bad. Your share is like 8 of these silver coins that are almost twice the size of the silver coins you're used to. They're stamped front and back. They have a ridge line too.
8 French silver coins.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Well,
being a
thank
thief,
you.
the ridge line will tell you that they actually have an active master of coin here, and that people probably did shave the coins, and that's why you put the ridges on them, so that you can't do that.
Interesting.
All right, so when you go up to the room, barring your window or leaving it open?
I'm gonna bar it for sure.
Make me a wisdom check.
Oh, absolutely, sir. Boop. Bop. Beep. Oh no.
Okay. Yeah, it's fine. You notice the same thing, that even this late, there are still a few people out and about on the streets, kind of just stargazing. But you close and bar your windows. So next morning, everything's fine. You had a great night's sleep. You may have even slept in late if you didn't have knocks on your door, as Hercule's sons are there to take you to their tailor to get fitted and
All right.
for the feast of Saint Guillaume tonight.
I need to look good. I need to impress with my dress.
So Galen, since you were sleeping on the roof, make me a wisdom check, but do it as if your wisdom were two higher than it normally is.
I don't care about it then. Oh, pity, because that too high would have made it.
Oh, nice.
It was a crit, but with too high, it's no longer a crit.
Still a crit. It's matching, so I'll take it as a crit. So you notice not only is the city have something of a nightlight thanks to the well-lit streets, but it also has a thieves' highway, as you're noticing darkly robed figures leaping from roof to roof. In some cases, there's planks of wood that allow them to go from one building to the next. They seem to be leaving this inn alone, though. I'm like, you're here up on the roof and nobody's coming to bother you.
I'm reminded of the city that we came from. That also happened. So, yeah.
Yep.
Wait a minute.
Any substantial city, if you've got a thieves guild, you're going to have a thieves highway. That's just how it is. Unless it's a thieves sewer. but we don't talk about them because they're smelly. So next
Also
morning,
got less broken legs.
yeah, that's true too. That is very true. So next morning, Hercule's sons come, take you, and you get clothing,
Well, we
appropriate
need money
clothing.
changing first. So
Yes, so they'll take you to the moneylender.
yeah.
Basically, your coins, and if you've got any, you've got lump gold and lump silver, I think, from molten. Or did you get rid of all of
We
that?
got rid of one of the lumps, but I think we got more than one.
You
lump.
did
we
get
got
more than
two
one.
lumps.
Yeah.
They haven't opened the item stock. We have got a lump of gold. Let's see, where is it?
Yeah, we had gold from
Yep.
the.
And a wad of
fight.
7,000 GP turd.
Yeah.
Then we
the
had
turd
a
we got rid of.
5,000 puddle GP
Okay.
puddle of metal. We
All
got
right.
We got
patches
rid
of
of
precious
the turd.
stones
The
and all
turd we
kinds
got
of
rid
stuff.
of, that we left at the other end.
Yeah. So the small
7,000.
turd.
The only 5,000 gold worth of turd, yes.
So
Only
you've got a
5,000.
7,000 turd of gold now. Yeah, I mean the moneylender will give you favorable on that. So seeing as you're a friend of Hercule and all, so what was it worth? 7,000 gold.
We're also the heroes of Ios. I
Yeah.
explain.
Yep. So he'll only charge a 10% change fee from that 7,000, and he will turn it into the local gold and silver.
6,000 GP
Nice.
spent.
Mhm.
Oh, it's 6,300 left. Sorry.
Yep.
All
Hey.
right. Well, there we go.
Don't
You
we
have
need silver,
official
though?
coin of the round.
Isn't silver more common than gold? Yeah.
Silver is what almost all commerce is done in. Gold is for very large purchases or for trade between merchants. Like, so if I'm buying a warehouse full of silks or whatever, I'll be using gold, but most things are done in silver.
So don't we need silver for day-to-day stuff?
Well, I mean,
Again,
when we say we've got 6,300 of gold, not necessarily of gold.
yeah.
Worth.
Yeah, he'll trade it out for very silver gold.
Break it
You're
down.
you're well stocked now.
You got your hundreds, you got your 50s, you got
Yes,
your 10s,
exactly.
Yeah,
you got your 10s,
exactly.
there's a fives.
I can't remember if I did this before, but if we look at the coins, have they got dates stamped on them? Do we know what year that was
They
minted?
do not have date stamped on them, but they do have a figurehead stamped on them, and not all of them are the same. If you ask,
Yeah, ooh, this is
Yeah.
new.
so
Or
each
is
one
it?
is the archbishop of prior. Like, this is the current archbishop. This was the last archbishop.
Just out of interest, I hold them up and see if they match any of the
See his
profiles of my
likeness.
teammates.
Nice. Do they match anybody? This one is as large as Radnar, but other than that, no resemblance. No resemblance. Good
We could have
question
had
though.
we could have had a hilarious time with, hey, this person just looks just like the other. You're cutting yourself off here,
Powerful.
dude. You could have had fun shenanigans, but no.
You know what,
Radnar,
function.
you're apparently Archbishop Non-Innocent the Fourth.
I get around.
Uh,
How do I know that wasn't me? I mean, seriously, because these people obviously know us, and we don't remember them. So maybe I was also the bishop at some point.
Who knows? Who knows? You get money changed. You get fresh clothing in the current style.
what do
want a
they do
purple suit.
about these?
They give you a nice hat.
'Cause-
Actually, most men wear hats, so it's not that.
but I am aware of having been in some ports before. They probably don't want you wearing hats inside ports. So,
Huh?
what's the plan? What can you give me?
Well, for your obvious deformity, they would suggest going to a barber and getting your hair cut so that it falls to cover your ears. But yeah, I mean, if you go to any put any effort into it at all, you could do that. You can just have your hair
Okay.
cut so that it falls to cover your ears.
All right, we'll do that then.
Yeah.
Yes. Getting
So
tired of
you're-
wearing a chain headpiece.
You're dressed in the current fashions of a noble or at least a mercantile household. Apparently, nobles and merchants are fairly mixable. If you've got enough money, you're considered to be a noble.
No. I am not dressed like that. I just get a different robe that is better than the one I currently have.
Okay, so you don't you don't let them dress you in current fashions at all.
No, I will dress as I am
don't
always
either.
dressed, which is just a simple robe. With,
Okay.
That's it. I would just be a
I'm-
higher quality.
Honestly,
robe
then what they will
And-
do,
and underwear this time.
what they will do is
Don't
actually
get all fancy.
Yeah.
they'll actually cut your robe so that it falls and it actually looks close to what the clergy wears here.
They will not touch my robe. I will fireball these motherfuckers if they try to touch my robe.
Okay. You do have a
So
very
As long as
special
it is
robe.
actually distinct and not as if I'm aping your style.
Yeah.
I mean, I just happen to be wearing something that is of a similar cut.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm gonna go for some really high class, like purple, like outfit, like really just look really flashy.
The sea is pimping it. Yeah. I mean, but the current fashion is very much that. It's very rich colors, contrasting
like,
colors.
A feather with a big red feather to
Oh,
contrast
yeah.
with the
If I
purple.
remember, I've also got really huge balloon sleeves and puffy skirt or something.
Well, we're getting raided right now by the lollygaggers.
Oh
You
my
guys have just
goodness.
cut in right as we're doing the fashion section of our show, where everyone is getting tailor-made clothing.
Yes.
So a C, you definitely have the local colors about you now. You've got one leg that's deep purple, the other leg is black, and you've got a very
Nice.
very large hat.
I'm keeping this. Can I wear my armor under it? Is it like tailored?
No,
okay.
no, you
Alright.
cannot.
All right.
So, yeah, everybody looks like they're dressed to impress at the feast tonight. Then, Hercule will meet you at the inn, and so to take you to his palace, since you don't know the area very well. As you're passing through the town to do all of your shopping and everything today, you do see that the alchemist has set up her stand and is selling in the open market.
I check on her. I make sure she's doing okay if she needs anything.
Actually, yeah, people saw you, the heroes of Ione, with her yesterday as you were coming in, so it has actually caused an uptick in her sales today. She's actually got a few bottles of potions that say "Sweat from the heroes of Ione."
I offer
Radnar's bathwater.
I offer to help her out for a little bit.
Nice. Okay,
'Cause
yeah.
She's busy.
Oh yeah. So people who saw you yesterday as one of the heroes
Yeah,
are stopping.
Small
So
talk 'em.
you make her a little bit more money as things are
Yeah.
going on. What are you guys doing for the rest of the day? So the palace tonight for the feast of Saint Guillaume, but you've got the day. People are recognizing you in the streets now. Some people are stopping to bow. Some people again are saying, like, "You saved the orphanage." Now that doesn't sound like you.
We burned as many orphans as it took to save that orphanage. The orphans might have died, but the building still
if
stood.
anything, this sounds like the adventure we did with those other characters, and with remember that that one-off we did, Bird?
Yep.
With the, yeah. It sounds like that happened in this real.
Uh,
Flashing
it's
back to
just
that
mistake,
one
right?
more than this.
Well, I have a thing. I don't
Mhm.
know if we can do it here, but I mean, if there's like a historical society or a library or somewhere we can go and like work out the.
Zymes does have a
things.
library here.
So yeah, I want to look up the ring and the mirror that we're meant to be looking for.
Okay. You're going to spend the day in what passes for the library now. It's for nobles only, and since you went the route of not having the latest fashion made for you, they will request a gold for the use of their libraries.
I am the hero, one of the heroes of Rhodes. I'm gonna be going.
5
to
silver
buy.
then.
Ah. I mean, I don't know the exchange rate. 5 silver could be more than 1 gold for all I know.
No, it's not.
All
All right,
Cross
so
money
yeah.
somewhere.
You pay up, then you spend the day in the library looking up artifacts. Which a lot of the books are just like such and such artifact was seized from the Witch King of XX or the the Necromancer of XX and was proudly burned or reduced to its base metals by the Archbishop so and so. So there's a lot of that, but at least there's a record of these devices.
All right. Well, I'm just looking for the 2 that we need, and if I can't find anything on that, then I don't know. I guess the library might be a place to pick up gossip about the Baron, the people who are going to be there this evening.
Ooh, nice one, nice one. So your intelligence is like super high, so you're not going to have to roll for that. You are pretty sure that these items are not logged anywhere in the books that you're looking through. I mean, again, I say library, but it's not a huge collection of books. But it is odd because you do find historical references to the Amber family. And they're almost the whole reason why there has been this whole anti-magic thing going on, because they were a very, very wicked family, which the clergy has been historically given the reason why the family was expunged. And since then, the practice of magics have been outlawed.
I just must remember to tell the others not to talk about the Amber Clan when we get back together. That's fine.
Also, historically, you find out one of the reasons why they're not so hot on demi-humans. Demi-humans don't exist in Averone. So if you are a demi-human here, you are a demon summoned by a black magician.
Okay.
Yep.
You can't be from out of town in a different country? All right, fine.
Nope, you are a demon summoned by a black-hearted magician.
Yeah.
That's what's going on. Now, for the rest of that, give me a charisma roll, because Fig Jam is not charismatic as he goes around telling
this
people.
This is why I was here, to try and dig up dirt so that I could just go, I don't want to talk to you, so I will talk about your bastard son, who you don't acknowledge anymore. All right, charisma roll. Going for a 7. Can we do it?
No! Oh my gosh, that's the most. Oh yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
You're so rude and so crude as you ask around even just a little bit about the feast of Saint Guillaume that you are eventually just asked to leave the library.
So do I defecate in the corner?
That's probably what did it.
Can I
mean, to be fair, you didn't see a bedroom chamber anywhere, so the corner was as good as anywhere else, right? Right? They have people for that.
I used these old scrolls rather than the newer ones to wipe up, so I don't know what you... All right.
The oldest scrolls are the best ones to wipe your butt with. Exactly. See, how are you spending your day? Because it seems like people are breaking up.
I'm gonna spend most part of the day helping the woman. You know, I don't want to feel like we just abandoned her. I want to be able to stick around and be useful for her, because give the image that I am a helper. We got in for free with her.
Make a charisma check.
Ooh.
She's definitely using your fame to hawk her wares.
Oh yeah, and I'm flirting with everyone. Bop. Crit.
Oh my gosh. She sells out that day of everything that she brought. Just sells out completely. Even makes stuff up at the end. The sea bathwater was like, that was the thing. Everybody wanted a bathwater from a sea. That's the thing. Darby, what are you doing with your day?
Yeah, I'll go shopping for equipment that I used over the past adventures.
Sure.
So I need rope. I need rations.
Okay. Let's say all the basic stuff you fill up. But if you're looking for weapons and arms, you're noticing that all the weaponry and armor tend to go lighter. Like you don't see shields, but you see plenty of bucklers. You know, the kind that you hold in your hand, the small target-like thing. Most of the swords are all very thin, thin blades, mostly of the poking sort and not the slashing sort, although you do find some cutlass-style blades. No bows, no arrows, but there are plenty of crossbows.
Well, okay. Well, I'll take food and rope, like I said. Spoil, I'm okay. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I'm good.
Darby, do you have any magic items on you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Plenty.
Roll me a D100 and tell me high or low.
Okay, I'll say low.
Ooh, high.
Ooh.
Okay. So you are shopping, picking out some. You're arguing with the vendor about whether or not his foods will spoil over long-term use, so that you're getting your rations right. And you see those five-man groups of inquisitors going by, and it seems that in those groups, only one of them have the staff that tells them that magic is about. Okay. So as you're in this crowd of people, you see, you barely see in time, a group of these clergy coming by, and they seem to be just walking through the crowd, just giving blessings here and there, and they seem to be, quite cheerful with most people. The one in the middle holding the staff, though, the staff starts to light up a bit, and he starts swinging it around, and they all go very tense, and he's trying to triangulate where it's getting brighter. And so he's doing a little Marco Polo to try and find you. So you noticed it. What do you do about it?
Well, I'll try to sneak out of the market.
Okay, going to try and sneak out. All right. How? Like, are you going to just kind of duck low, try to go underneath some tents, or are you just going to try to fade in the crowd? Now, remember, you're about the height of a slightly taller than average child, but you're as broad as a normal man, which you're definitely standing out in a crowd. You're also dressed as if you were a noble. So how do you want to go about doing this?
Yeah, I'll. Well, how is the market? How is it placed?
It's bustling. There are a lot of tents, which are just pavilions, just to keep the
Okay.
sun off you, but open-ended. But then there are also some large tents that are set up so that they take you into the back room, for instance, to look at wares, etc. And it's all spread out over maybe a good quarter mile. It's almost the center of this town. People
Okay.
are bustling about. You do see guards wearing plate with pole arms that are stationed here and there. The clergy, these five-man teams of clergy, you see every now and then, but they're not as ubiquitous as the guards are. So that's what it looks like. There's a lot of people moving around. You see some people that are dressed as well as you. Most aren't, though.
Okay. Okay. I'll try to stay as far as possible from them and to go into a large tent that to
Okay.
a back store.
Sure. Let me have you then, because this doesn't really fit a stat. So let me just have you do a luck check and tell me high or low D100.
Okay, I'll say low this time.
Low. Okay, low it is. You manage to go through the backs of a few tents here and there to be able to get out of range of the staff. So eventually they just lose your trail. Close call, but you are able to get out. You did manage to buy what you were out looking for. Did you want to pick up any arms, armament, anything like that?
No.
Nope. Good.
No.
Okay, Galen, how are you spending your day?
I was sort of thinking about that and going, I'm a nature person, not really a city guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a few ideas. But the sort of first thing that kind of came to mind was look around, see if they had. I'm not quite sure express it. Animals anyway. Basically a zoo.
A zoo.
I mean, basically, where do they have animals on display or sort of animals like that, which translates to zoo. For sure.
So other than a farmer's market where they're selling things like rabbit, chicken, goats, not really. But the gates are opened, it seems, early in the morning till fairly late in the evening, where there's free passing back and forward unless you've got a cart and are a merchant, in which case you've got to pay every time you come back through. And just outside of the city is a fairly sylvan area. with well manicured trees, which they keep just at the right distance. And it looks like they spend time actually going through and trimming them to make them look nice, etc. But so there's a forest right outside of the city.
No, the other thing I had in mind was to go from my cleric side and sort of see how are people. I'll phrase it in sort of terms that, just to get to the. How I know that people are going to be petitioning. I think it's the right word for sort of like interventions and stuff from the clergy and that. So
Okay.
I know we have magic, and I know magic is frowned upon, but people are still going to be asking for help in that. So I'm just wondering, how do people go about doing that?
Okay.
And maybe
So-
there might be a sly way I can slip one of my spells in there to help people.
So just from observation, you notice that there are teams of these clergies that tend to go around the city in 5-man groups, and they do good works. People actually come up to them asking for help for various things, and you will see that they actually will go with the person to their home, come out a bit later. Sometimes there's money passing hands, but not always.
Okay.
What's their attitude towards us? Like, do they react weirdly to us, or?
Well, if you get close enough and they're looking at their glowy thing.
As you're dressed now, since you guys had a nicer wardrobe put together, except you didn't, did you, Radnar?
No,
you kept
I
your
didn't.
robe.
Not at all.
So I mean, you're seen sort of as an outsider, but just as an interest, not they're not taking any particular note of you other than, oh, that's unusual. There's a foreigner. But there are enough merchants that come through that it's not really that big of a deal, especially since you're human. A rather large, rotund human, but human.
There's lots for me to go around.
All right. So, Galen, you aren't actually seeing any church or building that anyone is going to do this, to either supplicate or ask for help. But it seems like the clergy is active. They're in the streets, and people just approach them openly, and it looks like they're just fine with that.
Okay.
Yep. Now, there are a couple of very large buildings about, like that looks like a palace back there. And then more towards the back end of the city, you start to see dwellings that are multi-storied, made of stone instead of wood, more well-kept. Some of them are like even gated communities where there's a wall or iron bars put up to separate a street from another street. But you don't see anything that looks like a house of worship.
Yeah. Just a shortcut there, just to say I'm sort of wandering around, getting some idea about the layout of the town. There's nothing, unless there's sort of like something. The other thing is, what are the poor? What's the poor of the city like?
Well, there's not any visible poor, like people that are, you don't see anyone begging. You see people dressed like workers or field hands or farmers, but you don't see anyone that looks like the destitute you'd find in a normal city of this size. You occasionally do see someone that is not dressed so well go up and ask for help from the brothers. So, and what they'll do is they'll go and buy this person some food. They'll go and buy this person some clothes. It looks like they take care of their people.
So we're evil, anti-magic bastards, or they actually be a decent place.
Mm-hmm. Either that or they just execute all their really poor. I mean, you just don't know.
Yeah, that's possible because I know what I'm like with talking. So yeah, I'm just happy to. We'll just say I get some sense.
I will give you one thing though, if you're kind of paying attention to this. Go ahead and make me a luck check, high or low.
High was on team high. Team high.
You do see them actually perform miracles, like they do heal people out on the street,
Nice.
and yeah.
Well, my estimation of their religion's gone up a bit. Obviously, they worship their God, but
Of course they do.
yeah.
Radnar, what are you doing with your day?
Humans are their own gods.
Do I have materials with me to make scrolls?
If you don't, you can certainly pick them up easily enough.
Because I was gonna say I don't really have anything I need to investigate at this point. I want to see if I can make a couple of scrolls.
Well, okay, so scroll time is days
Okay.
based on how many levels. Like, so you could make a scroll, like a first level scroll, if you took the day to do it.
Okay. I'll make a magic missile scroll.
Okay. It's what you spend for the materials. It's 100 gold per level. So
Okay.
you spend 100 gold on the materials. You make a magic missile scroll at your current level. All good.
I can do that.
Okay. So you guys spend your day this way, and come early afternoon, yes, Fig Jam's thrown to the street after crapping in the corner of the library, hit on the nose with newspaper, and Hercule, dressed in his new outfit, looking much like yours, same tailor after all, and his sons also dressed well. He's not exactly sure they'll let his sons in, but just in case, because the sons will be carrying your gear or announcing you, that sort of thing, as you need. But he is ready to take you up to the mayor's palace if you are ready to do so. The evening starts fairly early before sundown because the feast begins at exactly sundown, and the bishop will be giving the opening prayer at that time. And then from sundown to sunup, the next day. So all the workers will turn in tonight, and they'll have a full day off of working with food provided by the clergy, and then the day after go back to work.
Bank holiday.
Yes, exactly. All right, so unless you want to do anything, they take you to the palace, which it is in the back corner of the city, where there's a lot of gated communities, etc. So this is not the largest building, but it is expansive. It sprawls. It's 2 stories in most places, but towards the far end of the home, it looks like there's a 3rd story there. There might even be like a rooftop garden that you're looking at. It's fenced off, but the thing sprawls. It almost takes up like a city block for this one house. And there are a lot of carriages here. A lot of folks are just walking up because they live nearby. There's, this is the rich folk neighborhood. People are just coming from their homes. They're all dressed very well. Fig Jam, are you still staying with... Is everybody, Radnar and Fig Jam in particular, who didn't really get a lot done with their wardrobe, are you sticking with that? Is that what you're going with?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So... when it's your turn to be announced, Hercule's sons stand forward, and they introduce you all as the heroes of Ione, the slayer of the great beast, the savior of the people. They got your names, or whatever you would want to tell them that your names are, and they'll introduce each of you to the court. It's like you're all standing outside of this tiered step that goes up to these enormous front doors into his palace. And so like it's almost like you're asking permission to board the ship, right? And all of your tales are told, as it were. It's fairly long introduction. Apparently Hercule wrote it out for his sons to go through. Yes. So there's actually a lot of attention brought to this prior to you. It's noble families, for the most part, being introduced in. Some people are coming from other cities in carriages. They will arriving later, but there are already some here. But you go on in, and the first floor of this is just a huge kind of like an in-home garden. So Galen, there's water features with plants that should not be growing in this area, but the environment has been shaped so that they will. So there's violets and all kinds of plants that should not be growing in this area. Just all set up, all well cared for. There are waiters going through bearing silver trays of wines, snacks, that sort of thing. And this is just, everyone's just kind of hobnobbing through here. You notice that the snacks are very plain, nothing very spicy, and you kind of overhear people talking that this is for the Feast of St. Guillaume. You're supposed to actually fast the whole day until the evening, and then you break your fast. But rich people don't fast. They just eat poor food.
Can a seed touch the silver platter?
Yeah, so what are you guys doing? Other than Fig Jam and Radnar, the rest of you are dressed similarly to most people that you're seeing here. Of course, there are some wearing more fashionable wear, but you fit in. Fig Jam and Radnar, not so much. Although Fig Jam could be mistaken for one of the clergy by the cut of his robe. Just the wrong color.
Also, I do not have my weapons and armor with me. So
Right.
if something happens, I'm in trouble.
I.
Whereas,
Are
Randall,
they checking us for
aren't you still
weapons,
displaced?
etc.?
Yeah.
Yep, he's got his... Oh, wait, you're wearing your displacer cloak to this?
Hell yeah, I am.
Oh, my God.
Oh my god.
Okay,
Well, then with that one. Right, okay, next adventure when you have to all get killed.
Actually, can I put something over it?
yes. Please.
Yeah, it just registers like, hey, that might trigger something negative.
Well, let alone you reach for something and actually your hand's over here when you grab it.
Well, I would know where my hand is, wouldn't
Yes, you would.
I? Okay.
Yeah, but anyone looking's going to see you reach into the air.
So, let's say that the tailor does make an overcoat for you that goes over your cloak.
I mean, I wouldn't want to reflect poorly on Fig Jam, so.
Of course. He does that himself very well. Okay. So Darby especially stands out in the crowd, but in a different way, Darby. A lot of people are paying attention to you and are kind of drawn to you and asking questions just kind of very abruptly. It's like, oh, it's fine to see that someone with your obvious deformities have done so well in life. I hear you are one of the heroes of Viones. You seem to be a sturdy man, though bent and hideously deformed.
Yeah, but it helps. It helped me at Viones. In the combat, I was small and
Yep. Actually, you are drawing a fair bit of attention that's not negative. You seem to be exotic. A lot of the ladies of the court are kind of clustered around too, asking about the heroics of Viones.
Here's the Derby charm we know.
Yes, exactly. What is your charisma, Darby?
11.
Oh, you're not bad. I mean,
You're
average
more
at worst, and you're
charismatic.
cleaned up and in nice clothes. You get a few questions of, is all of you deformed?
It is.
There's a Fig Jam level of subtlety right there.
They're not subtle in the least. No. They're too rich to be subtle. No, I mean, people seem to be fascinated that someone with, obvious deformities has done so well. And you become a little bit of a toast. You're introduced around. You're literally like moved from group to group and introduced as one of the heroes of Viones. What are the rest of you guys doing? Darby is literally being like handed from one group of people to the next, being introduced. Hercule is acting fairly starstruck. Like he will say, "Oh, that's such and such family. They own the largest cattle farms in the area. Such and such is a noble family, but they're quite poor." However, the gossip is that they are trading their family name for money by marrying off daughters and sons, because you can inherit titles. So yeah, Hercule's just pointing out, different. There's a fair number of politicians are showing up, the rich, the famous. There are apparently a fairly famous balladeers here. as guests, not as entertainment, but as it is their trade, they do occasionally break out and bring out lutes, different instruments, and play passages of new things that they're going to perform. And Vyone seems to be the large city in the area, so they're practicing to perform before the archbishop. Let's see. So through all of this pageantry and all of this, beautiful people about, what are you doing?
I'm getting all the gossip from Hercule. I'm just staying close to him so I learn everything about everybody.
All right, so you're getting an earful because he seems to
Yeah.
know most of the movers and shakers around here.
I'm just soaking it all up.
What is your charisma?
16.
Oh my gosh, you are quite frequently asked to dance because as the minstrels play, and they do have some paid minstrels coming through, there's just impromptu court dances going on. You are a beautiful person, and the beautiful people like to be around other beautiful people, both men and women. Ask you to dance. Make me a dex check.
Oh, well, okay. Poopy.
Oh, you gonna take the failure?
Yeah, I don't have rerolls.
Oh, a lot of rerolls. Isn't that a shame?
Yeah.
Okay, so you do not pick up on the court dances very well at all. So you are not an exceptional dancer.
No.
As you've come up before, but how do you feel about us dropping bits?
I would really rather you not.
Okay, so yeah, I could, but I'm not gonna.
Oh, there,
well,
Captain
Captain,
Kyrian
don't
just
let-
saved you.
Alright, I'll do the reroll.
Okay.
Nice, thank you.
Thank you, Captain Carrion.
Oh, look at that. Good success. So you are a modest dancer, but your pretty face makes up for it. Okay, so you are propositioned by many as well while you're dancing. This level of aristocracy, shall we say, have no real shame at all.
Hey Bart, this isn't specifically on my thing, but let's say like Radnor used to play the lute, and maybe he wants to jam with these like big famous minstrels that are.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a thing that
Around.
Radner does, sure, you
Yeah.
can you can do that. That's just fine.
I would like to do that.
So, what kind of instrument?
I play the lute.
You play the lute. Okay, in which case, let's just do high-low. Just go make a luck check. We assume that you're
Okay.
skilled at it. If it's something that you can do, let's just see how well it goes over. So, high or low?
High, always high.
Okay. All right. What is your charisma?
14.
Oh, wow. You are also a beautiful person. Yes. So the minstrels that were invited as guests and not as performers, you kind of hobnob in using your star power of being a hero of Vyome, and you actually have a lot to offer. You guys just kind of make an impromptu jam that a lot of people just kind of flock around and start dancing around as well. So this seems to be, until night falls, it's just a big party. There seems to be some rules that you're picking up on. All of you that are just kind of hobnobbing around and listening as you're kind of interacting. So no business. No one talks business. No one makes deals during this. It's a holy day after all.
Any of these people, any of the like gentlemen or anything that were hitting me up, are any of them of considerable power from the gossip I picked up from Hercule?
Depends. So some of them are have titles, so they're nobles but aren't very rich. But the title itself can open doors. And then there are a lot of them that are very wealthy, basically trying to buy a title in whatever form they can, either by marrying off sons and daughters and inheriting a line, or just wholesale buying territory that has land and peasants on it and therefore getting a title. So, yes, most of these are the younger sons and daughters of those families. How old is C? I figured somewhere in his 20s or teens.
Did I ever?
Probably not even the 20s, honestly. You're probably in your teens.
I think he was a young greenhorn recruit. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like 17, 18.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like anyone is really jealous about the vying. It's either, okay, well, if you would like to join me afterwards, or join us all.
Oh.
Apparently, after sundown and the proper rituals are done for Saint Guillaume, it just becomes a very large and interesting party.
I partake.
Yeah. I'll take
C's
that
been
number
too
and
close to
that
death
number.
lately.
What's your
Yep.
digits?
Yeah, I tell a couple of the more prominent gentlemen where my room is.
All right. Now, all of you are kind of hobnobbing in one way or the other. Fig Jam, what were you doing again?
I haven't been called on yet.
Okay, so what is Fig
So-
Jam doing?
I really don't know what Fig Jam is doing, seeing as he's, out of his element here.
I tell you what might attract Fig Jam's attention. There are some graybeards, some older folk that are playing games of chance, but they look like not so much chance. Like there's a lot of logic and strategy involved. And they're
mean,
not
all my
wagering
gold-
money because that's too much like mercantilism during this. So,
Oh,
yeah.
all my magic gold tooth, which makes me better at gambling, never
Yes.
come into play. I don't know.
But they also seem to be having discussions as well. Like they're talking philosophy, they're talking religion. There's some interesting stuff there that might attract Fig Jam, but
No,
maybe not.
that does not attract
Not at all.
Fig Jam at all. I don't think he's into that sort of stuff. He's a grumpy old man who lives out in the sticks when he can, because he doesn't like people, especially.
Okay, so you might just be
So,
being a
I don't
wallflower
know, he
and
might
staying
be the guy in
away.
the corner, yeah, just observing things from
Yeah.
afar.
Your
If there is
charisma's
a if there is a group of people who are being catty towards the others because of, oh look, isn't that last year's fashion, that sort of thing.
Oh no, that's
Fig
definitely
Jam
happening.
might get in with them.
That's
yeah.
definitely happening. Now Fig Jam has a really low charisma, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So is that social ineptitude, or is Fig Jam disfigured in some way?
That's social ineptitude.
Okay.
He just does not care.
Okay. We don't do comeliness in this game, but that would be the difference between it. So we'll just say that it's just, you're just socially really awkward. I still want you to roll though. So make me a charisma
There's
check.
always the chance I could fail miserably. Just how miserably do I fail?
Yeah, so
There
not
you
bad
go.
actually.
There's a failure.
So you kind of start following around probably the younger scions of these very wealthy families that are just tearing people apart by reputation and by what they're wearing. So it really interests you. You follow them around a little bit and listen to what's going on. You failed your charisma roll, so you might have even made some kind of forays and tried to join the group in some ways, but it kind of fell flat.
Yeah, I insulted one of
Yeah.
their fathers or something by mistake.
Right. So you are kind of hobnobbing as well. So what I would like is for all of you, to please make wisdom checks. Looking for a high success or a crit.
Ooh.
Nope. Low success.
Darby's got it.
Success. Yeah.
Darby's got it. Okay, Darby. This might, you know what? This makes perfect sense because Darby is a warrior. So you notice that there is a young man with very bright red hair, almost copper, and a very thin mustache. He's got a very muscular build, like very strong-looking shoulders and back, which is not in vogue amongst the young of these wealthy folks. They tend to be slender. Also, you notice his clothing, while it matches what the younger folks are wearing, it seems to be just a little less well tailored, a little more ragged around the edges, and his appearance was kind of striking to you because he was so different than the others in his age group. But what really gets your attention is that he just had a scowl on his face the entire time. And he is just moving. People are greeting him, and he may nod his head very curtly, very quickly, but he's just kind of moving around the room, never staying in one spot at a time. It actually even looks like he might be casing the place, like he's measuring off how long it is from a doorway to the next doorway. Like, watching his feet. He's using his feet as like a measure.
Okay.
Yeah, so you notice that. Nobody else does.
Okay, I'll go see him. Go talk to him.
Okay. What's your opening? What do you say?
Oh, sir. We've not had the opportunity to meet. I'm Darby. I extend my hand.
Okay. He does extend his, although there's no smile on his face at all. Francois Bouchard. He just very quick, one pump with a hand, takes his hand back.
What brings you here?
The celebration. I understand there are festivities. He's just like, his eyes are darting around, like he's trying to pay some attention to you, but he's really uncomfortable.
I'll try another question. Is it your first time at these festivities? It's my first time.
Oh, okay. I tell you what, make me a charisma check.
It's mid success, low success.
Low success. Okay. Well, it does, like, you say that and it looks like he was just gonna, fluff off with not just a, just a quick comment, but he does take a good look at you. Like he's just now realizing that you're a stunted, and so his eyes relax a little bit, actually. And he's like, "Oh, yeah, it's a bit overwhelming the first time, is it not? All this peacockery, all this useless wealth. It could be better spent in so many other ways."
What do you do for a living?
That's a good question. Give me a second.
C'est François Bouchard.
He says, "I work with horses. I breed the finest horses in the region for my father."
Nice. Well, I'll keep that in mind. Where are your stables?
He tells you, like, such and such street, and then he's like, "Oh, you don't know the area, so just follow the path outside of this palace to the east, all the way to the wall."
Okay.
And then he just like he can't help himself. He says, "Because of course the smell of horses can't be in the vicinity of these noble noses."
I see.
Darby, now that you're in close to him and you're talking, give me a wisdom check.
Okay.
I know I'm making you do a lot of checks, but I don't want to just give everything out without some challenge. Okay. I think there's one reroll on the table still. We've only used one of the two that were given. Do you want to use it, or do you want to take the failure?
Yeah, I'll use it.
Okay. Okay. That's less of a failure this time, but still a failure. So, yeah, I mean, he looks distracted. His clothing definitely is, like, this is probably his best outfit, and it's still just a little threadbare. You wouldn't notice from afar unless you were paying a lot of attention, more noticeable up front. Could be why he's continuing to move around the room and not stay anywhere for too long. And you also feel like his hands are very callous. This is somebody that works for a living. It was good meeting your acquaintance. Your name? I didn't catch your name.
Yeah, I am Darby.
Darby. Yes.
Maybe we'll have to travel around. So if I need horses, I'll go to your stables.
Yeah, he turns to leave, and then he thinks for a moment. He turns back and says, "Character and stature are not the same. Don't let anyone make you feel a fool." And he walks off. All right. So this next part in the evening, as there is a gong that happens and everybody starts to quiet down, there's one last flurry of servants with silver trays bringing everybody particularly amber-colored fluid. You guys remember this from being in the Castle Amber. It's the same stuff. The same amber-hued wine. And as this... the gongs stop reverberating, there is an entourage. The bishop is being brought in on a palanquin. The clergy is around him as they're just kind of cutting a swath through the crowd. Everybody's moving to the side as this happens. And in the middle of this chamber, I was saying there are a lot of water features, so there's a reflecting pool. And the ceiling above it is open to the air. And so you guys are starting to see starlight come through. The moon, as we said on the last episode, it changes slowly. So same sliver of a moon in the sky, but it's enough to come illuminating down into the reflecting pool. And you notice that cleverly, the reflection of the pool resembles the holy symbol that you see that the brothers wear. And so as the bishop steps off the palanquin and he moves forward, someone brings out a little kneeling stool for him, and he kneels in front of the water feature as the moonlight and starlight flow through, and he's about ready to say the prayer. You're nearby, Darby, as you see Francois pull out long, thin blades from inside of his sleeves, and he's about to hurl them at the bishop. And we'll stop there.
Oh, Jesus. I like
Dun,
it.
dun, dun.
Yeah. Yep.
Who's that guy?
That's a long sequence for that small payoff. But there we go. Yeah, we have the assassin in the party getting ready to off the bishop. All right. So we'll end it there, guys. Bill, what do you got going on for the Frog Gods? You got your Dude, Where's My Sword done yet?
I'm thinking I'm going to run that next month.
Next
I'm not
month,
sure
okay.
exactly when. Still talking with them. I'm continuing on with Lost City of Baracus. They are actually heading to Baracus now. So,
At long last.
Yeah.
I know that feeling. Give them some doors. It'll take them forever to open.
At least it would if they were us. So.
Yes. Jameis, what do you got going on? I hear that your blog has new posts.
Yep, there's a blog there, but what I do want to talk about is it's just started Desert Bus for Hope. It's a week-long charity event where a group of comedians play the worst game in the world, Desert Bus,
Yes.
to raise money for Child's Play charity. So if you go over to desertbus.org, you can find all there, and it's live on Twitch now.
Oh, yeah, good stuff. So it's week long.
Goes for the whole week.
All right. Yeah. Check that out, folks. Jeff has finally gotten to play a game of Blood Bowl with himself.
Yeah.
Nice.
How did that go, Jeff? How are you liking? Have you ever played any other edition of Blood Bowl?
I played, I think it was the first edition back in the 80s.
Styrofoam board?
Yeah.
Okay, yep. So
it
how do you
was
like
nice.
it? How do you like the slick down new $150 box set?
Yeah, and can't wait to paint the models.
Yes, that's the English model tax, Richard.
I didn't make them.
Cool. Dion, what do you got going on this week?
Well, when I'm not playing TTRPGs with all my super cool, awesome friends like you guys on Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and sometimes Sundays, you can find me on my channel at Substances Used, where I'm currently playing through the Arc the Lad series. I'm on the 4th game in the series, Twilight of the Spirits. I'm near the end, and then we'll be going to the 5th one. My goal is to beat the series by the end of the new year, and then I'll have a birthday stream after that, because I'm very shortly after the new year, and if people want to pop in and help give me ideas for another series to go through the ages of retro gaming, it'd be interesting to keep that trend up. So yeah.
Cool. I will remember that and put in some suggestions. I love me some 80s video games.
Yes.
And Richard's got a stream. Tell us about your stream, Richard.
Do have a stream. We're making a lot of wisdom rolls today. Just thinking about it, I mean, Femdom is wanting to be dominated by females. Does wisdom mean you want to be dominated by wizards?
Please.
If you
Spell
want to
me,
have
Daddy.
other exciting thoughts like that, why not come and visit me over at LMTDTMFFR on Twitch, where I play video games badly? Or, say it with me now, I've done this all out of order, but anyway, limited
Offer time limited.
offer. No
Vowels,
vowels.
no.
Indeed. Vowels, no.
Oh wow. Yep. That just happened. Well, and if you found us, you know where to find us. Twitch.tv/SteamStealMurder. We stream on Tuesdays for first edition Dungeons & Dragons. Fridays, BX Dungeons & Dragons. A lot of old school. This Sunday is Gamma World 2nd edition. Maybe. I'm still lining up to see if I've got the cast to do it yet or not. But Sunday streams generally happen. And check out the podcast at Blue Magic, BLUMAGIK.com for well over a decade now worth of audio recordings. Fun stuff. Richard's been in most of those, so I've known Richard for more than a decade now.
No, you haven't. It's only been 2 or 3 years. I am not old.
And Jameis as well.
Yeah.
But we all know that Jameis is old. Old at heart. And the fleeing hair. Anyway, say goodnight, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for those that stayed around after the
Good night,
raid.
everybody.
Much appreciated.
Good night.
Gute Nacht.
Yay.